What's the difference between something just being a good accident and actually it feeling like serendipity?
Yeah, that's a great question. And also, Jeffrey, to your earlier point, I think, we're all in fight or flight at the moment, right? We just had a collective near-death experience where, everyone's like, oh my God, like, most of our assumptions have been questioned. We're all under pressure to perform in some way or the other, or to find some kind of new meaning. And so I think it's only kind of very natural that a lot of us might be a bit more close to potential serendipity because we're so focused on just literally survival, right? But that's also what I'm fascinated by in terms of when you look at extreme contexts, like the poverty context where a lot of our work is based, that out of necessity, a lot of serendipity then emerges, right? So
Can it be serendipity if you don't know what you're looking for? And if we know that, do we need to understand what it is that we're trying to see?
mm, this is really the hook strategy. This is really kind of at the core of saying, how do I kind of bring in different interesting themes into conversation, whatever conversation I have, being it with going somewhere and casting it like very consciously, or thinking about what are two or three things at the moment that I'm really curious or interested in, and how can I seed this into every conversation?
In what way does persistence play a role here in seeing serendipity, or is it just a numbers game? But I mean, my sense is that there's something about persistence here.
Hmm. That's really interesting because I've always found that fascinating in terms of that it can go both ways, right? So in one way, you could say, yes, giving up too early with an idea that's worth going through with, that's a real shame. And there's kind of, as they say, there's a big cemetery with all the ideas that never kind of got to really live, right? And that's probably the biggest cemetery in the world, right? That like all these ideas that could have been there but that didn't come to fruition. Been in the trenches as entrepreneur, this is your identity then, right? This is who you are. And so when you follow an idea, it's the idea, but it's also you're following, creating your own identity over time and who you are and who you want to be in the world.